Hello there, YouTube. It's your boy Josh out,
It's your boy Tay.
and this is another episode of Sports Talk Tay and Josh. I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. And today we're going to discuss Loki season 2, episode 5 review. And I just want to give you a slight warning before we get started. We may discuss some spoilers, so just giving you a warning. Spoiler alert! You've been warned. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Come back, and we got
Yeah.
one more episode left for
Yep.
Loki. One more episode.
Which
We're gonna do
one?
a big discussion regarding
Yep.
that. Okay. So, Tay, did you want to go first, or
Uh,
you want me to go first?
sure. Sure, why not? No matter. I think we
You
both got
want
the
to talk
same
about
plan
Loki?
anyway.
You think Loki? You gonna talk about how Loki giving the Nick Saban in the living room recruiting the TVA? That's pretty much what he did in this episode. You trying to make
Yeah,
it to
but
the
what
league, ain't you? Am I supposed
it looked like what happened is exactly what we said from our last review is that everything has been reset after Victor time, the whole fiasco with
Mhm.
the machine. So if you didn't notice, last time they couldn't save it in time. They couldn't save the accelerator on time, and
Mhm.
it pretty much blew. It just blew. Um, and then and the cause of that, everything decided to spaghettify. Like it just became everything just became looking like spaghetti. It just looked like noodles. Everything looked like it was ripping. So once that happened, uh, Loki was the only one that did not have effect of it for some odd
Mhm.
reason. He wasn't
Yeah.
affected. Him and Sylvie, those two were not affected. But as far as everybody else of the main characters, they were affected. They went back to their alternate lives and branch timelines prior to either joining the TVA or not even been part of the TVA at the time. So yeah, it was a nice episode to see how what everybody's life was before they either became TVA or they alternate life when they are in those
Oh
branch
yeah,
timelines.
it was a few people like Casey was he escaped from Alcatraz. I would have never thought
Yeah,
him a criminal. That caught me
yeah.
off guard. And Morbius, he like the jet
Love
ski
jet skis.
king,
Yeah,
man. He the kingpin of the he was like just selling them left and right. I think it was it
yeah,
in Cleveland? I think it was Ohio he was selling it, if I'm not mistaken at the timeline. I believe it's in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
And another thing, back to Morbius, I think what happened was the blimp that was his wife disappeared. I think it had to do
yeah,
something with the blimp. I
yeah,
I thought about when I first the second time I watched it. Uh, I would
yeah.
say I think.
Because I think it was the
Mhm.
year of the blip that happened. So it looked like it was like
Mhm.
around that time when he pretty much became a single dad. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised
Mhm.
if his wife was part of the blip. Now the thing is,
Mhm.
did we know if she come back or not? That's the thing we don't know because he's part of TVA at that
We
point.
don't know
So
because
yeah,
TVA interfered, and Loki got to control the time slipping, so
yeah,
that's another thing. Uh, this episode was pretty straightforward. He was trying to recruit, get the TVA back. Form pretty
yeah,
much he was trying to. This predates the TVA. He was trying to form the TVA,
yeah,
how you recruit everybody.
yep,
But I'm trying to think of anything else. Only big reveal I can think of is Loki is probably gonna become what the god of story. I think
yeah,
that's what it's referring to. I
yeah.
got an idea. I don't want to skip to predictions. Are we skipping? Are we skipping ahead?
Man, it was it was pretty straightforward.
Episode 5 was pretty straightforward. He went back in
Yeah,
time. I did like the scene in the record store with Sylvie.
yeah,
With the
and
whole that was a great scene.
yeah, the Sylvie. And when he found out that OB was the author of those books that he was buying to give out to everybody else, to find out he was the author of that, and
Hmm.
OB was kind of like the start of the science slash fiction part of the TVA, finding out what
Hmm.
part is science and which part of it is fiction, where which one is which one is real, which one is make believe,
Hmm.
and he found out that OB, even in the alternate life, he still was the creator of something. Even his layout and his place is still like his office at the TVA office. Like
And
it's
you also
still
got to remember, Obi was the only one who didn't get his memory wiped.
exactly. So
Exactly. Yeah. So you got to bring that into. I'm trying
yeah.
to think of. I think I got an idea how episode 6 is going to go. I got a feeling. I don't want to reveal it, but what you think? I'll let you go first. I don't want to steal the thunder. Any predictions
Um. Only prediction I
for
probably
the
would
final
have is
season
that
finale?
yeah. The only one I probably got. I think this is probably going to be a leeway to another MCU um
Mhm.
jump, if I would say, like it was jumping to another project. So I think this might tie in into another project within the phase of this saga. And I also think this might be leading to, like you said, Loki being a god of story, which he will be the actual head person of the TVA. I think he takes over from
Mhm.
He Who Remains and becomes the head person of the TVA. Then the TVA would join the Avengers and Secret Wars. That's
Okay.
what I think.
My prediction for the season finale. This is might be a potential spoiler. I could be 100% wrong. What I think is what's going to happen is Loki is going to control the time slipping, and what they're
Hmm.
going to do is probably try multiple times to try to fix the timeline, and they're going to
Hmm.
fail. That's what I think is going to happen. Because if you notice, like, then I think Loki's going to show that he's a god. He's probably going to walk out and save everything, or
Hmm.
he might fail and they just do a big bang reset, like we were saying
Yeah.
with all the new Marvel storylines. That's what my
Hmm.
gut is telling me how it's going to end. I could be wrong. Do you think they're going to pull a like anything surprise, like show Kane or something, King the Conqueror, or a variant of King the Conqueror?
I think if anything, they're going to show. They probably will show the Kane the Conqueror that we know. It might be a variant, or it might be the Kane. It might, because they saying Victor Tomlin is the good one. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always going to be an opposite of good every time when you're dealing with Marvel. It's always going to be a bad. So I think
Mm-hmm.
eventually, and I think that's probably going to be the one, like I illustrated, like I said before. I think that's going to be the one that Renslayer runs into at some point if she still shows up in this storyline, because she did get pronged. So
Mm-hmm.
if if they do it that way, I think there will be another. It will be the Bad Kane teaming up with Renslayer to get back at the TVA,
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I know
and
that
then
was a bold prediction. I know.
yeah,
I know my prediction. You think they're gonna do like a Groundhog Day type? They just gonna keep repeating, try to fix it, and
I think they're gonna do it like 2, 3 times, and if they can't do it the third time,
yeah,
it's just gonna, it's just gonna be wiped pretty much.
yeah. And I think Loki gonna try. Then I think I think everything just gonna reset. Then we have to deal with all the King the Conquerors variants.
But then also you gotta think about it like this too, though. If it fails again, will he go back to the point where Sylvie almost killed He Who Remains and stop her? So the whole thing will
That
actually be
I would
a
say
wipe.
that will probably be the more ideal if he can control the time slip and go back before Sylvie kill, stop him and just
Mhm.
talk with he who remains and you know he like tell him how to keep the timeline going so
Yeah,
they won't come
yeah,
across this issue. That will be the easiest way, but I got a feeling they may not go that route.
yeah. Me neither. Because then I also think they will also see that He Who Remains will actually be an evil Cain and not a good Cain.
Hmm.
He will want war to happen pretty much. Because you clearly see what
Yeah.
happened when he won the last one. He won the last one. He wiped everybody's memory. So clearly, he don't mind having war with anybody.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I think they're gonna probably, like you said, I think it's gonna be one of them things where they probably it's gonna be a Big Bang Theory type of situation. It's gonna
Yeah, big. I think it's gonna be a big reset, and that's how we're gonna bring Fantastic
yeah
Four, X-Men, and everything into the Marvel universe. I think that's.
yeah
I'm still leaning towards that. I could be wrong. We'll come back next week. I mean, probably not next week. We'll probably do it in a few days after watching. I'm gonna watch
yeah
it about 2 times before we do the review. I can say
yeah
if I'm right or wrong. I could be completely wrong. That's just a bold prediction just by leading up to it.
yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
about to say the only characters that I can see that it will tie into for real, and and I was like thinking on it. The only one I could actually see them tying into that's going to be in this slate is Fantastic Four. That's the only thing I can think about that this show can attest to, or at least blend in with.
That would be dope if they announced the Fantastic Four, like like show the
Yeah,
they get a little short snippet of them. You don't think
yeah.
that actually would be a good? Because last year they did the last season they did a He Who Remains. We didn't expect Kane or Varian to
We
cameo
did not.
for us.
Yeah,
We
we
didn't
did not
expect that.
expect.
So I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of any bold prediction, like something that shocked us. We were like, oh man, they pulled it off.
yeah. I mean, based like it's based off the show. The only characters I can think about that can make sense of it is Fantastic Four. That would be the only
Mm,
ones I can think about that make sense because they're going to be pretty much some of the headliners of the next phase. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do bring Fantastic Four into the fold of Loki right now. Because originally I thought it was going to be Kane, and then they did it season one. But yeah, I'm thinking Fantastic Four. If it's a bold move, it's Fantastic
mm.
Four.
Okay. All right. And what will you rate this episode, episode 5?
Really? Like overall, I'm actually might give this one like a 8.5. I give it an 8. I give it an 8. I was gonna say 8.5, but I'll say 8.
Okay. Okay. I actually, I want to give like an 8.5. It was actually a great episode. One of the best
Yeah, it was a
episodes
great
so far.
episode. Yeah,
One of the great episodes so far. It actually told the backstory of the TVA members, the known
yeah,
TVA members too as well. Like the backstory, where they came from, background before they joined the TVA. So it gives us an idea.
exactly.
Yeah, I actually like that. So, but I'm still gonna get credit. Your man Loki out here giving like a Deion Sanders slash Nick Saban recruit to the TVA, but it's all good. So I
Yeah,
agree
but
with you. I give it about an 8.5. 8.5.
yeah, it was just the fact that the man literally said I can change everything. Cause so cause now my question is, because Sylvie got the pot, the template from He Who
He
Remains.
rings. Yeah, she still got it. That's how she
So
got out of the record store incident.
yeah, so I wonder, can she also change because she's a Loki as well, or is it just this specific Loki because he got away? That would be the
Because
other
she probably
question.
still has some type of power because she is a Loki to a degree.
Yeah.
And Loki is technically a god to a degree. So
Hmm.
maybe that have a factor into it. I could be wrong, just a theory. But I want to.
Yeah.
Uh, anything else you want to add, or you think we good to go?
No, I think that's it. That was just my
I think
one
that's it.
question.
I want to thank everybody for liking. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, get notifications. We're going to drop another one. Probably do one for episode 6 and just do a complete podcast just on the whole Loki season. We just discuss important parts about it, what we like, what we didn't like,
Hmm.
overall rating for season 2. All right. Peace and hair grease.